You are listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast.
What is going down? What the fuck is going down? It is your boy, Studio McGyver, and you are listening to Studio McGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast. Welcome to the show, newcomers. If you're new to the show, welcome. If you love anime, if you love gaming, nerd culture at its finest, then you've come to the right place. We talk about all of that shit here. Today we're going to talk about a few things, and one of them being Platinum Games, a little bit of news from them. I love Platinum Games, one of my favorite game companies out here in these video game streets. Also going to talk a little bit about some Star Wars. Yes, haven't talked about that in a minute. We have some of that to talk about. And the coronavirus keeps on keeping on. We're going to address some things and what effects it's having and continues to have on our gaming culture. And not just gaming, I mean everything, but you know, when you're a nerd and when you like talking about games and those type of things, it has a lot to do with that. So going to be talking about that. And what I've been doing this past week, guys, I lost my entire life, all of last week and still going on today, man. I mean, every once in a while I have a game or two, or maybe an anime or two that just takes over your fucking life. If you know what I'm talking about, raise your hand. I think we've all been through this one time or another where you're into a game and you just fucking fall down that rabbit hole. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that, man. And I can't believe how good it is, how much fun I'm having with it, man. It's amazing. Anyway, all of that and more on this episode of Studio McGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast, man. How's everybody doing out there? Let me first start out by asking you guys that. I hope you had a great week. I'm glad you're back listening to me bitch and moan about, everything else I'm talking about here. Yeah, man, interesting week. I want to talk about Platinum Games a little bit. There's been a lot of things going on out here in these video game streets when it comes to Platinum Games. And I'm surprised that I just recently discovered some of this. I haven't been really up on everything. I don't follow a lot of, developers as I think I should on Twitter and things of that nature. But this fell into my lap and, Platinum Games have been doing a lot of shit. They've been making a lot of noise, a lot of waves. And one of the things that they're talking about doing, guys, is they just announced a new fucking studio. Okay. Platinum Games announced a new studio in Tokyo. Okay. And it's going to be focusing on, believe it or not, live service games for consoles. Okay. Now it's a little bit of a mixed bag when you're talking about live games, in general, in my opinion, guys, because live games to me, I'm not into too many of them. You know what I mean? There's a lot of it happening now. It's kind of funny for me to hear this news come out from Platinum Games because, in my opinion, if you had to ask me today, I'd say that live action games or live service games, don't have much of a life left on the table. I mean, in my opinion, we kind of had like a, what's the word I'm looking for here? A surge in this type of game, this type of style of game. And, it's kind of fizzling out. People are getting tired of it. It has to be a very, very good game if that's the type of game that you're going to be presenting to the players, to people out here. In my opinion, that's what I think it should be. And we've been getting a lot of companies dropping the ball on that. So I don't know. Platinum Games, I have faith in them. So when a company like that talks about it, I'm curious. You know what I mean? I'm not saying I'm going to, dive into it, but whenever you're talking about Platinum Games though, man, you just can't ignore it. I love Platinum Games, been a big Platinum Games fan for a long time. And I'm interested to see what these guys are going to bring to the table. What games are they going to be talking about doing? And yeah, man, I'm anxious, man. I really am. They have a lot of things in the works right now, guys. They have, I think they're relaunching, trying to do a remake of Wonderful 101. They got some other things. Like they got another announcement right around the corner. They're supposed to be announcing. They got games coming out the wazoo. They got a lot of things coming out the wazoo, and they just recently had, which was one of my favorite games on the Nintendo Switch, was Astral Chain. Love that fucking game. Excellent game. If you haven't played it, you definitely need to, take some time out and do that, especially if you have a Nintendo Switch, and jump on that real quick ASAP. And just, Bayonetta 3 in the works right now, coming out for Nintendo Switch, and just the Bayonetta series as a whole was a dope ass series. So, that's something to be excited about if you're a Bayonetta fan, and if you're a Wonderful 101 fan, and so much more, man. Pretty much anything that they're doing, you need to be checking for if you like any of those games. Me personally, I wish they would fucking do a, Mad World remake. And, still have faith in that. I still have faith that they may do that. They may come out with that again, because to me, that was one of my favorite games from Platinum Games. It was just different at the time. The art style was definitely different. It just had its own unique style, and I loved it. But anyway, let's move on, guys. If you're interested, let's just get this out the way. Free games for the month of March. Free games for the month of March. If you're a PlayStation player, and if you're an Xbox player. If you're an Xbox player, to the Gaming Pass, if you fuck with the Gaming Pass, then you might be wanting to get your hands on a couple of these games. One of them being Batman: The Enemy Within, and the other one being Shantae. What is it called? Shantae Half Genie Hero. Yes. I used to fuck with the Shantae games on Nintendo. I want to say my Nintendo 3DS, and it's a pretty good game. It's a pretty fun game. The mascot is pretty dope. She's got a lot of dope little abilities and stuff like that. If you're into like platformers and shit like that, you might want to check this one out. But it's going to be free for the month of March. It's coming. And then Batman, The Enemy Within, I'm not really familiar with that. I want to say it's a Telltale game. I'm not 100% sure, but I do have, the Game Pass, so I might see what's going on with that and check it out, man. But really, what I really want to talk about is the other games. Well, one of the other two games that Sony is going to be releasing, and one of them is Sonic Forces. And I think the reason why they did that is, they're trying to ride the wave of the success of the recent Sonic movie, which a lot of people are telling me was pretty dope, and it was way better than they expected it to be. And it's all good. You know what I mean? But the other game is a game that if you have a PS4, it's like you have to play the shit. I don't give a fuck, what you're doing. You have to experience this game, because this game is not just a video game, in my opinion, man. It's a work of fucking art. You know what I mean? I don't know any other way to describe it, but the game is my personal favorite of all time, my favorite video game of all time. And that's saying something. That's saying a lot, man. When you got games like God of War and some of these other games, Horizon Zero Dawn and stuff, floating out there in these video game streets. This game here, man, in my opinion, is the definition of a perfect classic game. Okay? Everything lined up correctly. All the moons lined up. Everything, man. And it's just, I don't know how else to explain it, but the game is Shadows of the Colossus. If you have not played this, you definitely need to check this one out. And it's free, guys. If you have the PlayStation Plus membership, it's free, and it's there for you to experience in all of its glamorous ambiance. Check that shit out, please. I have not the original. I have the HD collection with Shadows of the Colossus and Eco on one disc for the PlayStation 3. Love it. Both games are classics, in my opinion. Both games have great stories. It's just excellent, man. Just excellent. But the remake, man, it's just so beautiful. The world was just so beautiful and dark and gloomy. On the original itself, it was just way before its time. And this game here is a game that I think everybody should fucking experience, man. Every game player, especially if you're into, open world-esque, adventure type of games. You know what I mean? It's just a beautiful game, and I don't even know what else to say about it. Just play it. It's free. If you have the membership, it's free, man. Just check it out. Anyway, those are your games for March. I don't know a lot about fucking Sonic. I really don't know a lot about Sonic Sonic Forces. I'm sorry. I don't know a lot about this game, but I do know that, it's something there. I mean, I heard it wasn't the best Sonic game. I didn't play too many Sonic games, other than the ones on the Sega Genesis. So I don't know. Supposedly you can create your own Sonic character in this world with this game, but that's about all I really know about it. I mean, it's free, so I might just give it a gander, check it out, see what it's about, won't hurt anything. So if you guys are interested in those things, in those games, or just what's coming out for the month of March, check those out. Now, what I really want to talk about, now is this coronavirus shit, man. This coronavirus shit is ridiculous. And I say that because it is really, really starting to affect a lot of things, man. And I'm just taking a slice of the pie from my world, okay? The gaming world, okay? What's going on? How is it impacting, this culture that I love so much? And I've talked about it before, guys. I've talked about it in the last couple of weeks. But man, the GDC, and if you guys don't know what the GDC is, it's basically the Game Developer Conference, okay? It's pretty much where all these fucking devs, these video game devs and these fucking publishing companies get together every year, and they fucking trade, they trade, knowledge. Basically it's kind of like the Hollywood of, the gaming industry. They get together, they make moves, they shake hands, they tell stories, and, games are born, concepts are born. And, that's how we get a lot of the games that we love to this day. This is how some of these are actually born. And it's sad to say that it's not going to happen this year, unless a miracle, just happens to come out of the sky. And, we get blessed with some kind of miracle. But right now, as I'm talking to you guys into this microphone, it's not going to happen because of the coronavirus. OK, everybody's pulling out of this shit. Everybody's just basically pulled out. They're shook. They don't know what's going on until they can get a grip on this coronavirus. It's just not going to go anywhere. And the same thing, for just the development of, these new systems. I mean, holiday season, it doesn't look so holiday anymore. You know what I mean? I mean, unless something miraculously happens, because if they don't come up with something to nullify this virus really fucking soon, it's gonna be a long year for gamers. People looking forward to that PlayStation 5, to the Xbox One X, all this shit, man. You know what I mean? Because it's all done in fucking China. Most of it, the majority of it. I want to say 85, 90%. And we can't make anything if we can't get the parts, and can't get the parts if people don't go to work out there. And if people don't go to work out there, I mean, hey, what can we do? We're at a fucking stalemate. So I say that to say this. I'm really tired of hearing about this coronavirus. Honestly, I really am. But, it's not as bad as I initially thought, as far as as many people getting sick, but there have been lots and lots of deaths over there behind this, and people are shook. People don't want to, I trust me. Listen, I don't blame anybody. You know what I mean? For wanting not to come and do this or do that, or come to work or whatever. But it's just, oh man. I don't know, man. I'm at a stalemate. All I can say is, I hope they get a grip on this thing, whatever it is. I mean, I've heard they're doing tests, and, they're testing on rats and certain other animals, and, there's no side effects, and it seems to be doing the job. And we should know something here in, the next, I don't know, maybe 3 to 5 months or so, something like that. But by the year and a half, I think at the most, they were saying that they should have everything, have it in kind of a pill form, or some kind of way that they can kind of give it to the masses, and if it does come to fruition. So they're just trying to keep it at bay right now, and everybody's shook. Nobody wants to be, takes that chance, and I understand that. But we're gonna pay for it if they don't get it together, man. And I'm not trying to sound selfish or anything like that, because there are people out there who are fucking sick and who are, going through shit with this virus or whatever. It just sucks that it's affecting, this world, a world that I hold dear to my heart, a world that, I kind of selfishly kind of hold to myself. I like to do that with, and it's just a bad thing all the way around. And it's affecting not just the gaming community, it's also affecting a lot of different other things, because like I said, a lot of shit gets done in China, gets made in China. So it's pushing a lot of things back, man. If you're looking at the stock and you're wondering how that is, just take a look and see where it's headed right now, and you'll understand. But let me get off of this coronavirus shit. I hope I don't have to keep talking about this shit unless it's good news next time around. And, I guess we'll get to that bridge when we get to it. Yeah. Anyway, the next thing I want to address, guys. Damn, my phone just went off. I'm getting text messages and shit. Anyway, I want to talk about Star Wars. Star Wars, yes. I say Star Wars because there's some news. We got some Star Wars news, man. And the news that we got is kind of good, I hope. I mean, anything new to me is good. Now, I'm not a diehard Star Wars fan, man. I'm a casual Star Wars fan. I recently just really got into Star Wars not too long ago. I've seen most of all the movies and stuff, but just because you watch a Star Wars movie doesn't mean, you're a super fan or anything like that. But, it is a breath of fresh air. I appreciate a good story. I don't give a fuck what franchise it comes from. Apparently, they're working on the next stage or the next chapter in the Star Wars universe. No more Skywalker stuff. They're basically putting their heads together and they're starting from scratch. They're going to start something new, and supposedly it takes place around 200 years before, I think, the original Star Wars movie. Now, the name of this is called The High Republic. Okay. Now, these are going to be stories, as of right now, that will be featured in comic books and in novels. Okay. None of this is, on the big screen or the small screen yet. But I think we can safely say that that is where they will be heading eventually. Okay. I'm just excited. I'm just excited because they're going away from, what everybody's known, up until this point. They're starting something fresh. And I really, really hope that they can pull this off, man. And I'm talking about the writing, because these last few Star Wars movies, man, were thrown together. You can tell that it was thrown together. You could tell there was just so many plot holes going on, and they were just trying to get it over with, in my opinion. And that is just no way to be, especially with a $1 billion franchise like this. It just isn't, you know what I mean? Just because, you're known out here in these nerd culture streets, you think you can just, put whatever you want to put out here, and a lot of people won't care, won't notice. I mean, we live in a world now where you can't make that happen. You cannot do that. You cannot live those lies. So to hear this news coming out of the Star Wars camp is a beautiful thing, in my opinion. I just hope that the writers that they choose are going to be, what is going to take this franchise to that next level finally. Because if all goes well, which I'm hoping it will, I've seen, sketches and some art and all of that. And the shit looks good. The shit looks, very pleasing. And, it's always cool when you have another story from another, time. The Mandalorian was fucking awesome. I loved it. Can't wait for season 2. But this is something different. And all I can say is, look, they're doing it in the books. They're going to be doing it in the novels. It's only going to be a matter of time before we get it in film or TV. I'm telling you guys, it's just a matter of time. New characters, new trilogies, maybe, just a whole nother thing, and then, even Yoda, this old ass, I mean, I'm sure they're going to integrate him somewhere in this. I mean, I can't wait. I really can't. I literally cannot wait to find out more about this. I'll be definitely checking in with, a lot of the people who are in touch with the novels and the comics and, doing some research and finding out where this is headed, trying to find some new characters, trying to follow, new storylines and stuff. Can't wait. Really excited. Just wanted to share that with you guys. They're going to be doing all this shit at one time. They're going to be basically spilling out all this, content and lore, like I said, in the books and the comics, and, probably making references to, other things or whatever to come. So I'm very excited to see what's going to happen in the Star Wars universe going forward. I mean, we needed a fresh slate. I mean, people have been wanting it, waiting for it. Everybody mostly has been wanting this Skywalker shit to, finally go to sleep. And hopefully they learned their fucking mistakes from these last movies, man. I hope that they did. And also looking at the Mandalorian, like, look, who do we have on this project? Okay, let's get the same people, on some of these other projects and people who think the way they think. You know what I mean? If they do that, I think we got a chance. I think the Star Wars fans have a fucking chance, man. And I'll leave it at that. I'll just fucking leave it at that. Now, last but not least, what I want to talk about is what I've been doing pretty much really for the last 4 days or 5 days or so. I've been playing nothing but pretty much The Division 2. Okay. I've been sprinkling in a little bit of, Dragon Ball Fighters practice in there, trying to get my game tight and all of that. We had season 3. It's out now. It's fucking amazing. It's a whole new fucking Dragon Ball game. And it's beautiful, man. Can't wait. I'm going to be doing a lot of Dragon Ball Fighters content, guys, coming to the channel. So definitely be looking out for that if you want to show some love and support. Anyway, but the game that I've been playing, though, the game that I've been sinking hours in, I stayed up 26 hours, guys. Okay. 26 hours straight. And out of those 26 hours, 15 of those were played on the Division 2. 15 hours straight. Okay. Oh man, this game is so fucking good. And the best thing about it all, it only cost me $3. That's it. And if you're listening to this podcast on Monday and you don't have this game, you need to go ahead and make that happen. Take $3, buy this game. Even if you don't play it now, even if you don't plan on playing it anytime soon, get $3, pay for this game, buy the game, and eventually get to it. But I'd play it now. Okay. The DLC, the new DLC, which is around $30, I think, comes out on the 3rd. And I think that's the reason why they did it. They wanted to get as many new people back to the game, or maybe even players who used to play like the First Division, like I did, and get us drawn back in. And they did it. I mean, they got me. It's so much better than the First Division, and the First Division was pretty awesome when it came out, and then it got stale, and then they fixed a lot of things, added a lot of new things, changed a lot of shit up, and it got good again. And then Division 2 came out. I never got a chance to go and touch it yet, but I finally did, and it's a thing of beauty. It is a thing of beauty, man. And I don't play a lot of these type of games, online only games, but this is a game perfect for like getting together friends, man, and just going out there and just, causing mischief and mayhem. You know what I'm saying? It's so much fun. This game it's just a whole new game. It's just so fucking complete. Like back in the day on the old Division 1, I mean, it wasn't really that much fun when you were by yourself. But this game here, you can play it solo and get so much enjoyment and so much fun out of it. There's just so much to fucking do in this game. So fucking much. I mean, if you want to run around, in the world and you want to find shit to do, okay, run up on a stronghold and take that over. You need help going to fire off your little, I forgot the name they call it, your flare gun, and then help will arrive eventually. So you hold them off until your help gets there. There's so many nooks and crannies as far as places to discover and places to find, in this game. I just love what they've done with it, especially compared to Division 1. They've changed a lot of things. I can't talk about it all here, guys. I'd be talking forever, but just a lot of different changes, man, have been going on in this game that I like, that are good things. Of course, everybody wants to get to end game, which is level 30. And like I said, I had so much fun getting to level 30. But now, once I finally hit level 30, the game just opens up in brand new ways, man. It's just so much going on. To be honest, as I'm talking into this microphone now, I cannot wait to get back to that world, to get out there in those Division 2 streets, because it's crazy out there. You can basically put yourself on call and literally be a designated helper out here. So when people need help, you go to them, you help them with their mission, what they're trying to do. And, the more you do it, you get ranks, you get badges for it. It's just so much to do. It's just so fun, man. I haven't even been to the Dark Zone yet. And one of my boys who basically talked me into getting the game, who is, a Division fucking whisperer, shout out to Dig 247. He's been on the show a few times. He, didn't even touch the Dark Zone yet, because there's so much to do. And he was a Dark Zone. He was in a Dark Zone mafia. Okay. If they had a fucking mafia, he was one of the guys at the end of the table. You know what I mean? Talking cash money shit. He didn't even go to the Dark Zone yet. So that tells me that, his hands were full with doing things and without even having to worry about going into the Dark Zone. Cause it's almost like the Dark Zone is out in the regular world. You don't even have to go to the Dark Zone. Shit is always happening. Shit is always popping off. You know what I mean? These fucking gangs, these groups are always taking over some shit. You know what I mean? They're transferring cargo. There's all kinds of things that you can do. You can intercept it. You can take these side missions that are just crazy good. And the weapons, there's so many fucking weapons now. They balanced it to the point where everything is good if you spec into it correctly. I mean, one weapon is better than the other. You know what I mean? I'm running around with a shotgun right now that I got from a mission that we were doing. It was what do they call it? Like a 5-tier. There's different tiers, 1 up to 5. 5's being the hardest. These enemies are fucking sponges, guys. Even the weakest enemies are a pain in the ass to take down. And I got a weapon drop and I picked it up and it was, I'm walking around with 300 level shit. This was a 500 level gun. This shotgun, it's got decent range. I was just out there acting a fool. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just having a blast using it and just showing my ass out here in these digital streets, man. Please pick the game. But I want to play with some of you guys, man. If you have a PlayStation 4 and you have the Division 2 and you want to play, you want to join in the party or even join our faction, you know what I'm saying? Our faction is called, if I'm not mistaken, it is called, I'm having a brain freeze right now, guys. I'm sleepy as fuck. I haven't had any rest. I'm tripping. Anyway, if you have a PS4 and you want to play the Division with me and maybe, go on some missions, I would love that. I would love to do that. And we could talk and we could, I want to see what your build is. What are you working with? What are you using? You know what I mean? Let's do it. Holler at your boy, man, on social media. Hit me up on Instagram at StudioMguyvR79, on Twitter at StudioMguyvR. Yeah, we can get into it. Holler at me. But yeah, I don't know what else to say about this game, guys. I mean, there's so much more that I'm not saying, but I'm kind of, getting delirious from lack of sleep, and I'm fumbling. So excuse me for that. But it's $3. I mean, what can you lose? It's $3. It's not going to cost you anything but $3, and you owe it to yourself. If you want to talk about hitting a glick, even if you don't play these type of games, necessarily, you just want, you want a game that's different and it's, low risk, high reward type of experience. Check this out. $3. You can't lose. What if you don't like it? Hey, it costs you $3. Okay. But I really, 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 truly believe that you guys will like this game. I really do. I literally played did a mission with 3 women. It was all girls team. Well, I was the only guy on there, but I mean, they were out there, man, they were out there acting ass, man. They were putting in work and I was having so much fun, man, with these chicks. Like I said, it's just, and you don't get a lot of female gamers that play these type of games, but every once in a while you do, man. And it was just a cool ass experience to see, these chicks playing it and really, really, feeling passionate about this game and these type of games. It's a third person shooter, a looter shooter, I guess you can call it that. And it's worth every fucking penny, if more. It's definitely worth a full price game. I'd definitely pay that. If I had a chance to play this and rent it or something like that, I'd be like, yo, I got to get this game. I got to add this to the library. It's awesome. So, I mean, the Dark Zone is a place where you go and you get high tier loot, but you don't, it's not as easy as just going and getting it. You have to scrap and fight for it, man. You have these fucking supply drops that get dropped off by a helicopter, and you have to make sure the area is clear. There's always somebody gunning for you. Everybody's trying to come at it and get it. If you do happen to get your hands on it, once you get it, it's not over yet. You still have to get it out of the Dark Zone. So what you have to do is you have to put it on a helicopter and have them ship the shit out before you can access it when you leave the Dark Zone. And as you're doing that, of course, no one's going to just let you do that. They're going to be trying to shoot you. They're going to be gunning for you. And it's going to make it very hard. Now, you can have PvP doing this, or you can have PvE now, which wasn't always a thing. It used to just be PvP. And, you couldn't go in there alone. If you went out there in that Dark Zone alone, you were going to get jumped. If you had teams out there, they were going to fucking troll you all night long like Lionel Richie. And you didn't want that in your life. But they, like I said, with a lot of, listening to the feedback and all of these things, they have fixed all of that, guys. And they even have a Dark Zone designated for just PvE. That's it. So, I mean, I think that is awesome. That you have a choice now. So if you're with your friends and everything like that, you got to click together. Y'all can go to the Dark Zone, for the PvP. And if not, if you're by yourself and you're solo, you want to kind of just PvE it, you can go, there, and all you have to worry about is the fuckery of the computer. And that's cool too. So just more options, man, always breeds more, excitement, more trust, more everything, when you're talking about games like this. And like I said, I'll say it again for the fucking last time. If you have $3 and you want to play something fun, whether it's by yourself or with friends, pick this game up. You don't have to even play with friends. If you're an introvert, which a lot of us are, and some more than others, you can literally go out and do the things you want to do by yourself. You can do it, and it's still fun. It's not boring. It's awesome. Okay? I don't know what else to say about it. It's great. Just play it, guys. Just try it. I have a t-shirt on literally right now that says just play it. Kind of like the Nike thing. Just do it. Just play it with the little fucking controller, silhouette. That's how I feel. Just play it. And with that, guys, I'm going to leave you with that. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to try to get some fucking sleep. After I edit this, I still have to edit this. So it's still a process and all of that. I want to thank everybody for streaming this episode, for just listening, downloading it, however you came across this episode. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your ears. To all my listeners who've been here from pretty much day one, or from, pretty much for a long while, I want to say I appreciate you guys so fucking much. I love each and every one of you. I really, really don't know what I'd do without you guys, man. I mean, it's a special thing to be able to sit here and talk about this type of stuff. And, I feel like at first I was talking to myself, and, come to find out I wasn't. There's a lot of you who came out and showed your appreciation and showed interest and gave me, more incentive, more faith to just keep, doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Do what you love. You like talking shit about games and anime and all of that. Hey, man, do your thing. I'm here to listen. And that's the thing I love the most about doing this podcast, going on now 4 years almost. Well, definitely 3 years, going on year 4. If you do want to get at me on social media, if you have something you want to talk about, you want me to talk about on the show, you can hit me on Instagram at StudioMguyvR79, on Twitter at StudioMguyvR. You can also check out the YouTube channel, baby, Studio McGyver TV. If you want to show your love, go ahead and subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. content almost every day. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Just you're showing your love and support. There's a free fucking, you know what I mean? I give a free prize every month to, the subscribers, man. Come on. You got to subscribe. You got to. Anyway, also, if you're into fucking merch, like nerd culture merch, like gaming merch, you know what I mean? Then you should check out Beautiful Nerds. That's beautifulnerds.com, www.beautifulnerds.com. Nerds is spelled Nurdz. If you like hats, if you like hoodies, beanies, backpacks, things of that nature, guys, check out Beautiful Nerds. They update shit every fucking month. So there's always going to be new stuff coming, showing up. And yeah, man, for your anime and for your gaming needs, movies, all that type of shit, man, paying homage. Anyway, that's it, guys. That's all I have. I hope you enjoyed the show. Forgive me if I sound a little bit, all over the place. I don't know how I'm sounding right now, but I did want to do this podcast. I try to put it out every week for you guys. And if you want me to do more, I'll have a Patreon, starting up this year. And, if all things go well, man, that could be a possibility, guys. It really, really could. I'm out of here now, guys. I'm finally going to put the microphone down and walk away. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for showing your support. This is Studio McGuyver, and you have been listening to Studio McGuyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast. See you next time.